Hey Sagittarius, I just pulled cards for you, and honestly what came through is so clear about this reconnection energy. Let me share what the universe is showing, because this is really specific about someone and the timing around getting back in touch. So the first card I pulled is the Sun, and right away I can feel this warm, hopeful energy around someone from your past. This card is telling me that whatever darkness or confusion existed between you and this person, there is genuine light at the end of that tunnel. The Sun does not show up to play games. When this card appears in a reconnection reading, it is literally saying that joy, clarity, and authentic happiness can be restored here. I am seeing that you have been carrying some heaviness about this person, maybe wondering if reaching out would even make sense or if too much time has passed. But the Sun is basically the universe giving you a green light. This is not about forcing something that is dead. This is about reviving something that still has real life force in it. The energy here feels like when you finally step out of a dark room into sunlight and you remember what warmth feels like. That is what this reconnection can bring. There is something so pure about what you two had or could have. And the Sun is confirming that the foundation is still good, still golden, still worth exploring again. The Empress comes next, and this card is making me emotional because it speaks to nurturing energy and growth. When I see the Empress in this context, I know we are talking about someone who genuinely cares about creating something beautiful and sustainable. This is not a casual connection we are discussing here. The Empress represents fertility of ideas, emotions, projects, relationships. She is telling me that reconnecting with this person has the potential to birth something really meaningful. Maybe you two have creative chemistry, or you brought out sides of each other that felt natural and abundant. I am sensing that one or both of you has grown significantly since you last connected, and the Empress is saying that growth has made you both more compatible, not less. There is maturity here now. There is readiness to actually tend to a connection properly instead of letting it wither from neglect or fear. I keep getting this image of a garden that was abandoned, but the soil is still rich, the seeds are still viable. It just needs someone to care for it again. That is what the Empress is offering you both. She is confirmation that the conditions are right for something to truly flourish if you are willing to put in gentle, consistent effort. Four of Swords just came through. And okay, this is interesting because at first glance people think this card is about rest and retreat, but in your reading about reconnection, it is telling me something specific. This card is saying that both you and this person have been in a period of necessary separation and reflection. The Four of Swords represents taking time to heal, to think, to gain perspective away from the intensity of a situation. And here is what the cards are confirming for you, Sagittarius. That time apart was not wasted. It was not a mistake. Both of you needed that space to process, to grow individually, to understand what you actually want versus what you were reacting to in the moment. I am hearing that one or both of you may have been dealing with mental exhaustion or emotional burnout when things ended or faded. The Four of Swords is saying that the rest period is complete now. You have done the internal work. They have done their internal work. And now there is actual mental clarity around what this connection means and what it could become. This is the card that tells me neither of you will be going back into this half awake or confused. You are both coming from a place of genuine rest and restoration, which means you have energy to give now, not just need to take. Two of Cups appears, and I have to tell you, when this card shows up in a reconnection reading, it is one of the most beautiful confirmations you can get. The Two of Cups is partnership. It is mutual respect. It is equal give and take. It is to people seeing each other clearly and choosing to move toward each other anyway. This is not about one person chasing and the other running. This is not about imbalanced dynamics or games. What I am seeing with the Two of Cups is that when you reconnect with this person, there will be a moment, maybe quiet, maybe simple, where you both just know that you want to try again. It might be in a conversation where you realize you still make each other laugh the same way. It might be in a moment of vulnerability where you both admit you never really stopped caring. The Two of Cups is sacred because it represents recognition of a true counterpart. I am not saying this person is perfect or that reconnecting will be without challenges, but I am saying the foundation of mutual care and respect is absolutely there. The universe is showing me that whatever hurt or distance existed, it did not destroy the core bond you share. That is still intact, and it is still valuable, and it is still calling both of you back. Death card comes through next, and please do not let the name scare you because in this reading death is actually G. Good news. Death in tarot represents transformation, endings that make space for new beginnings, the shedding of old skin so new growth can happen. In your reconnection situation, death is confirming that both you and this person are not the same people you were when things ended. The old versions of you that maybe were not ready or were carrying too much baggage or were afraid of commitment, those versions have died. They have been transformed through experience and time and self-reflection. This is crucial, Sagittarius, because it means you are not just repeating an old pattern. You are entering a new cycle with new awareness. Death is telling me that whatever needed to end has ended. Whatever needed to be released has been released. And now there is fertile ground for something completely fresh to grow between you. I keep seeing the phoenix rising from ashes imagery. What you two are building now will be built on the wisdom of what came before, not the mistakes of what came before. That is powerful. That is the universe saying, you both have earned this second chance through genuine transformation. The devil card is here and I need to talk about this. Honestly, because the devil in your reading is showing me the shadow side that could happen if you are not conscious about how you reconnect. The devil represents obsession, codependency, and healthy attachments, repeating toxic patterns because they are familiar. This card is a warning but also a test. It is asking you, Sagittarius, are you wanting to reconnect because you genuinely see healthy potential here, or are you being pulled by addiction to the highs and lows this person used to provide? Are you confusing chemistry with compatibility? The devil wants you to be honest about your motivations. If there were controlling behaviors before, if there was jealousy or possessiveness or power struggles, the devil is saying those tendencies have not magically disappeared just because time passed. You both need to actively choose different behaviors. The good news is that you are aware now, which means you have the power to not fall into the same traps. The devil is not saying do not reconnect. It is saying reconnect with your eyes open, reconnect with boundaries, reconnect with a commitment to healthiness over intensity. That awareness alone changes everything. 5 of Cups appears, and this card is so tender because it represents grief and disappointment, but also the beginning of healing from that grief. I can see that both you and this person have been mourning what was lost between you. The 5 of Cups shows someone standing in front of spilled cups, focused on what fell, but there are still cups standing behind them that they have not noticed yet. That is exactly what is happening here. Yes, something ended. Yes, there was pain and disappointment and maybe even regret. But there is still good that remains. There is still love that did not get destroyed. There is still potential that is very much alive. The 5 of Cups is confirmation that you have both spent enough time looking at what went wrong. And now it is time to turn around and see what is still right. What is still possible? What is still there waiting for you both? I am hearing that one of you, maybe both, has been stuck in a cycle of replaying the ending, analyzing what you could have done differently. And while some of that reflection is healthy, the 5 of Cups is saying it is time to lift your head and look at the full picture. You cannot change the past, but you absolutely can create a different future if you choose to focus on what is instead of only what was. 5 of Pentacles comes next, and this card usually represents hardship and feeling left out in the cold. But in your reading about reconnection, I am seeing it differently. The 5 of Pentacles is showing me that both you and this person felt a lack when you were apart. Asterisk, maybe it was emotional lack, spiritual lack. The sense that something important was missing from your life. This card confirms that what you had together was real and valuable because its absence was felt so deeply. But here's what is important. The 5 of Pentacles also shows a lighted window in the background, representing help and warmth that is available if you just turn around and see it. That lighted window is this reconnection. It is right there. It is available to you both. You do not have to keep standing in the cold pretending you do not need this person or that you are fine without them. Pride can keep us suffering unnecessarily. Knight of Wands just flew into this reading, and the energy completely shifts because this knight is action and passion and bold moves. After all the reflection and processing and healing, Knight of Wands is saying it is time to actually do something about this reconnection. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more overthinking every possible outcome. No more letting fear keep you frozen. Knight of Wands does not tiptoe. He charges forward with confidence and enthusiasm. This is the card telling you, Sagittarius, that when you reach out or when this person reaches out, it needs to be genuine and direct and from the heart. No games, no testing the waters with vague messages, no trying to play it cool when you actually care deeply. The Knight of Wands is fiery and honest, and that is the energy needed to cut through all the BS and just reconnect authentically. I am seeing that whoever makes the first move, it will be bold, and it will be clear, and it will shift the dynamic immediately. There is adventure here. There is excitement about what could unfold. This night brings momentum and forward motion after a long period of stillness. Trust that impulse to reach out. Trust that brave voice inside saying it is time. The final card is Queen of Cups, and honestly, this is such a beautiful way to end this reading because the Queen of Cups represents emotional maturity, intuitive wisdom, and the ability to love deeply while maintaining healthy boundaries. This Queen is telling me that whoever you are reconnecting with, or the energy you are bringing to this reconnection, it comes from a place of emotional intelligence now. You understand yourself better. You understand what you need from partnership. You are not desperate or needy. You are secure in your own emotional world but open to sharing it with someone who deserves access. The Queen of Cups is also highly intuitive, so I am hearing that you already know in your gut that this reconnection is meant to happen. You can feel it. Maybe you have been seeing signs, maybe their name keeps coming up, maybe you dream about them. That is your intuition confirming what the cards are showing. The Queen of Cups says trust that inner knowing. She also represents compassion and forgiveness, which tells me that part of this reconnection journey involves releasing any resentment or hurt feelings that linger. Not bypassing them, but genuinely processing and releasing them so you can meet this person fresh. This Queen has done her healing work, and now she is ready to connect from overflow, not from emptiness. That is the energy available to you both now. So Sagittarius, I just want to pull all of this together for you because the confirmation you are asking for is strong in these cards. The universe is absolutely saying yes, it is time to reconnect. But it is not just a simple yes, it is a yes with conditions. It is time to reconnect because both of you have grown and transformed. It is time to reconnect because the foundation of genuine care still exists between you. It is time to reconnect because you now have the emotional maturity and awareness to build something healthier than what existed before. But you also need to go in with eyes open about the patterns that did not work, the shadows that could resurface, the need for honesty and boundaries and conscious choices. This is not about recreating the past. This is about creating something new with all the wisdom you have both gained. The timing feels right. The energy feels aligned. And most importantly, the potential for real joy in partnership is absolutely there if you both are willing to show up authentically and bravely. Trust what you are feeling. Trust the pull toward this person. And when you reach out or they reach out, bring all of yourself to it, the light and the shadow, the hope and the caution, the excitement and the wisdom. That is how you build something that lasts.